So I mentioned a couple of days ago that I'd been to a meetup on cybersecurity. Actually, the meetup was on technology generally, but there was a presentation on cybersecurity, and it was fascinating. Depends on your perspective. I thought it was very interesting, but then I'm a geek, um, and some of the stuff that I learned there, the chap doing the presenting was named Bill Dunyon, and he's a director of cyber resilience for a big firm here in town, big tech firm here in town. And there were some stats. You always throw out statistics of these things, and he threw out a bunch of stats that really are worth repeating. And I'm telling you this for selfish reasons, partly just to reinforce my own memory. Um, the vast majority of small and maybe small to medium enterprises aren't really worried about cybersecurity because they just think, who's going to attack me? Who's going to attack us? We're too small. Nobody. We're not a target. Um, and he actually said the majority, or I don't know if he said the majority, but a lot of hacks, malicious hacks that take down big firms, actually come through some of their smaller suppliers. So now hackers, you were saying, are lazy. They will take the path of least resistance. And if they can get to a big target by going through a small target like you, they will. So, just imagine you're a 2, 3, or maybe even a 10-person firm. Yeah, who's going to come after me? No, but if one of your clients happens to be 1,000-person firm or up or something like that, and that's your hacker's target, and they can get to that target through you, well, they'll do it. And that just has to happen once. If that happens, your client gets hacked because of you, you're finished. You're out of business. Nobody will ever trust you again. Scary. And another statistic, apparently 62 something percent of CEOs of firms think that they're quite safe. Their systems are quite secure against malicious attacks. But only 21% of chief information officers think that. Ooh, in other words, the CEOs are dreaming in technicolor. And so this one is just even scarier. 60% of businesses that get hacked, are out of business within 6 months. So again, just takes one attack. The chances are pretty good you're toast. I suppose the exceptions, probably the 40% that remain in business beyond 6 months, are probably the larger firms that have got enough fat in place that they can keep going. But most people aren't in that position. So, and the average cost of a data breach is $2.4 million. I'm not sure if that's per breach or per breached record, actually. So that I might have that wrong. 64% of data of breaches, 64% of breaches are accidental, which means due to employees, most likely. 13% are accidental compromises. I'm not quite sure what the difference between an accidental breach and an accidental compromise is. Only 23% are actually due to malicious attacks. And this last statistic I'll give you, which is just freaking scary. There are 200,000 new web domains created every day, registered every day. 90% of them are with criminal intent. I'm real curious where he got that from, and so obviously I don't have his sources. But if that's correct, that's scary. So yeah, the counter things you can measures you can take to counteract all that. Use a password vault. Use two-factor authentication. Um, Higher privileged access in any company warrants higher security. So the more responsibility you've got, the more security should be applied to you and through you. And when you give up that responsibility, you should lose the access. It's all too easy to give people access to things, and then when they move on, they retain access when they don't actually need it. What else is here? Oh yeah, well, this one was interesting. Apparently, it is much smarter to use longer but simple passwords than it is to have short, complex passwords. In other words, you use a password tool to create a 6-character password. That's much easier to hack than if you use the opening sentence from your favorite song as the line, and simply take the first 14 characters from that, because you'll be able to remember that. That's, interestingly, apparently a lot harder to hack. So cool. There's other stuff here. I won't I won't repeat everything, but I'll just throw that your way. I'm not by any means a cybersecurity expert, as you can tell. That's why I went to the meetup. I'm not a cybersecurity expert yet. I'm hopefully get smarter at it. Okay, that's not a rant by any means. I just thought I'd share that information with you. I'd be interested in see what other people's perspectives on it are. Have a good one. Kirk out.